Hello my beauties, welcome. Today we'll be doing a pumpkin queen makeup look. I'm going to start off with an orange base, and for that I am using Mayron's Aqua Paints in orange. I like to use this as my base to start off, that way I don't have to use too much eyeshadow and it gives me a nice foundation to start on. So now I'm going to use a pointed brush and some orange eyeshadow. I'm using, I believe it's Flame Point by Sugar Pill, and I'm going to use that eyeshadow to help me draw on the lines of a pumpkin. This doesn't have to be perfect. Don't worry about it right now. There's going to be lots of shading. So if you do mess up, no worries. You can use a wet sponge to help erase, and then you're just going to restart. This is a look that doesn't have to be perfect, although if you are a perfectionist, this can get a little tedious as these lines could be a little bit intimidating, but don't worry. Go ahead and do your best and just remember to have fun. Once you get those base lines down, you're going to get a fluffy brush and you're going to start shading. I like to shade all around my face, down the lines, and somewhat in the middle. I don't like it to make it too dark, that way it has some kind of highlight and shadow, so it can really look like a pumpkin. This whole look is all about shading, so we're going to do lots and lots and lots of shading, so get ready guys. To help this process move along, you can use a bigger brush like a buffer brush to help put on that eyeshadow over this base and to really help blend things out. Now you're going to take a black eyeshadow. I'm using Dark Matter from Melt Cosmetics, and you're going to go over that orange line you did with this black eyeshadow. Again, I would start lightly before you do it too dark. That way, in case you do have a mistake, it's easier to erase and not have to start completely all over. Take your time, guys. This is a little frustrating at times, but as long as you go slow and you really think about what a pumpkin looks like, it will be way easier to make these lines. If you do have a mistake, no worries. You're just going to wipe it off with a wet sponge, use a little bit more of that orange aqua paint, and then you're going to wait till that dries and then add some more eyeshadow on top. Keep blending so that you don't have a line. So you're going to continue with that black shadow and continue the rest of your lines for your pumpkin face if you have not already finished. Now taking some black aqua paint, you're going to draw on the shape of eye that you want, filling in all the space with this paint. If you don't have any face paints, you can also use a black eyeliner to fill in the shape. You're going to repeat this process with the other eye, trying to copy the shape as best as you can or as different as you like. It's totally up to you. So just to add a little bit more detail to the edges of these eyes, I like to add a little crevices. This is not mandatory, it's just something I like to do. I like to have a little bit of detail, so you can skip this step or continue on. Now taking that same black eyeshadow, you're going to go over all the black spots that you did on your eye. Make sure you press that in as best as you can just to get a really dark and matte eye. With that same eyeshadow, you're going to go a little bit around the edges just to smoke it out a bit. You're just giving some illusions of shadows just to make it less linear. Same thing with the orange eyeshadow. You're going to go around your eyes, around your nose, and you're just going to add a little bit more depth using that eyeshadow. Now using the same paint, you're gonna go ahead and draw on your nose. I like to make mine look like it's kind of broken off, so it's not even and has a little bit jagged edges. This is just the way I like to do it. You can do it straight or more pointy, however you like. Taking that same black paint, we're going to work on the mouth. I do a bunch of little lines going vertically straight down. I use this method to help map out how I want the shape of my mouth to look, and then I keep adding lines on top of it till I like the way it looks. Just to keep the theme going, I went ahead and added these crack lines to the end of my smile. That way it matches the eye cutouts that I did. Totally optional, it's up to you. This doesn't need to be done, but I think it adds just a little something extra. And here we go with some more shading, adding some more of that eyeshadow wherever I think needs a little bit more shading, just to give it a little bit more depth. I'm going to use my Melt Cosmetics Vita palette, and I'm using this shimmery orange shade to go over my eyelid. As I was trying it with the brush, it didn't work as good since it is more of a shimmer eyeshadow. Then I decided to use it with my finger, and it was much better. Once you have that eyeshadow blended out, I just went back in with this black aqua paint and covered up any mistakes that I made, just to give it a nice clean line to make it look like an eyelid rather than the whole thing being orange. Now time for some glitter. I'm using NYX Cosmetics glitter in copper, and I just sprayed some setting spray into it to make it a little bit more liquidy so that I can put it on my eye. If you don't have setting spray, you can also use Visine or glitter glue. This is just what I had on hand, so this is what I used. I went ahead and added that glitter on top of all the eyeshadow that I just put on, just to give it an extra sparkle. Using that same shadow I used on my eyelid, I went ahead and put some on my nose just to give it a little bit something. Now it's time to curl our eyelashes and apply mascara. Don't forget your lower lashes. Make sure you coat those well. You can also put fake lashes on the bottom, but I'm just going to go ahead and use my real lashes for the bottom. Now it's time for lashes. I'm using the Sassy Lashes by Winx by Nancy B. These lashes are so beautiful. By far my favorite pair of lashes in all of her collections. Look at how beautiful they are. I just can't with these. So now I'm going to take my tweezers and get some lash glue on my lashes and put these babies on. So right here I'm using liquid lash glue. I like to have a glob of glue on the outer corners of the lash just to help to really stick it down. My eyes get really watery, and that's where it tends to lift the most. If you're new to putting on lashes, I suggest you check out Nancy's shop. She sells a really cool lash glue pin, which makes it really easy to get these on. Now we're going to take a moment just to appreciate how beautiful these lashes really are. So now I'm going to take some more of that orange paint and make some vertical lines going straight down my neck. The goal here was to cover as much spots as I can without getting it on my shirt. So this is totally going to depend on the type of outfit you're wearing. You can customize it to your shirt style. Now I'm going to take some black paint and I'm going to more or less draw the style of pics, I guess you want to say, that I'm doing here. It doesn't have to be perfect. I feel the messier, the more character it gives, so you do you. Once I had the overall shape drawn out, I went ahead and added some more black paint in between those picks. That way it kind of blends into my shirt. Taking a big fluffy brush, I added some eyeshadow to that and started coloring the inside of those picks. You can do this all one color, or you can alternate colors, black and orange, whatever you prefer. Once all shaded, I use some more black paint just to sharpen up the lines and get some nice definition on there. So here I'm just going over these lines, and as you can see, when I get up to my neck, I'm kind of just filling in the spaces that are in there just so that, you know, it kind of flows together. And of course, some more shading. More shading and more shading. So I wasn't sure how I wanted to style this makeup. I have really bright hair at the moment, so this is what it looks like with my current hair color. I also added this headband that I made. If you would like to see how I did that, please check out my other video. So here's the final look. I added a black wig and I think it looks so great with this look. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.